I'm very excited to be able to talk about our new Parents Matter campaign. As I prepared for today, I thought back, and it's been 9 years. This is our 9th year in working on Parents Matter. It's a campaign that started with just a few local leaders and people in the community who truly believed we needed to do something about underage drinking. We needed to stop the tragedies, stop the injuries, and stop the hurt. When we started this project, we were alone in the state. Lincoln and Minnehaha County alone started the project. Hink and Schultz came alongside of us and helped us create our campaign. The following year, the state began to look at what they could do, as they were also seeing across our state the injury and tragedies of underage drinking. We joined forces and became Parents Matter. As I look at that history and look at what we've accomplished, we see that we have lowered the number of children we've lost. This past year, unfortunately, I have to say we lost 4 youth in our state, 2 in Minnehaha County. Each year with our campaign, we look at what do we need to focus on. We began to include the injuries. To date, we've had 887 youth injured because of underage drinking and alcohol-related crashes. That's too many. We also began to hear the stories, and I think that's what's made our campaign different, is those personal stories from parents and their hurt. And we also had the opportunity to talk with youth who had suffered those injuries. This year, our plan is to look full circle, going back to some of those first parents, in particular Joyce Glenn. She lost her son Michael to an underage drinking crash the night of his graduation. She knew full well when he left that home that he was going to a party where there would be alcohol. Their intention was that he stay there for the night and be safe. We all know that didn't happen. Somehow Michael got his keys, and somehow Michael got in his car and began his journey home. A journey he didn't make, was not successful. He lost his life. But Joyce didn't stop there in just being a grieving parent. Joyce became an advocate. And with Joyce's strength and determination, she created the need that many of us felt but didn't put words to. And that is in looking at what we need to do with social hosting. All those parents and people who say, we'll take the keys and it'll be fine. We've talked to way too many parents who know that's not true. If Joyce does arrive, I'm hoping she can share a bit more with her experience in making the social hosting law a reality. But in addition to that personal side, there's the legal side. And today I have invited our own state's attorney to come, Aaron McGowan, and talk about that legal perspective. Welcome.
Thank you, Darcy. Good morning. My name is Aaron McGowan. I'm the state's attorney for Minnehaha County. And I'm here to tell you that if you are a parent and you are considering rolling the dice and bending these laws or breaking these laws, we will hold you accountable. Each of these laws, social hosting, furnishing, providing alcohol, contributing, carry hefty fines and actual jail sentences. If you roll the dice and violate these laws, we will hold you accountable and you will suffer a loss. You will suffer a financial loss, you will suffer a loss of liberty, and more importantly, you will be increasing the odds that we will suffer the loss of one more of our young people, unnecessarily and tragically. Do not suffer that loss. Do not contribute to the loss of another parent. If you want to roll the dice and be the cool parent, you will suffer the consequences. Your child doesn't want you to be the cool parent. They want you to be the responsible parent. They expect you to be the responsible parent. What you signed up for was to be responsible, not cool. When your children are grown, they're not going to thank you for hosting that high school party. They're going to thank you for teaching the difference between right and wrong, for being responsible, and for keeping them safe during those challenging years. Don't roll the dice. Be responsible. Have the talk. Take a stand. Parents matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. The coalition that has come together really believes that having the talk is so important. Today is our kickoff. 165 school districts will begin the process of distributing the material, the new letters, the DVD, the brochure, and the talking points, helping parents be able to do just that, be comfortable taking the stand and saying no. No, you can't go. No, I won't host it. And no, underage drinking is never acceptable. It's exciting to think that we will have all of those communities getting the material. We also will have 5 of our universities and colleges utilizing the material. They use it for their freshmen and sophomores. When orientation happens, we know that that material goes out. You don't stop becoming a parent when you send them to college. It's important that we realize that parenting is a lifelong, full-time job. I would like you to join me now in watching our new video as we look at Parents Matter.
Come on, Mom. Nothing's gonna happen. It's no big deal.
Okay, you can have the party, but it can't be big, and every kid has to stay for the night. Promise?
Thanks, Mom. It's gonna be fine. I promise.
South Dakota's new hosting law holds adults accountable for underage drinking at parties, where teens say they drink more than any other place.
Hey, where are you guys going?
South Dakota ranks 5th in the nation for underage drinking and driving.
Hey, my parents said nobody could leave. They could get in a lot of trouble. Come on, just hang around.
Who wants to leave? We'll see ya.
Come on.
Since 2006, 887 South Dakota teens have been injured in alcohol-related motor vehicle crashes. 66 have died. Studies show that parents are the most powerful influence on a child's behavior. Have the talk. Tell your teens that underage drinking is never acceptable. Ever.
The first time you talk to your kids about drinking alcohol should not be when they're 18 years old. You need to start talking to them when they're much younger and get that ingrained in their minds.
Some parents think that there's a rite to passage and that it's okay at graduation or prom or certain events for kids to drink. And they'll be creative and they'll take keys away and host a small party and hope that everything goes okay, and it doesn't. And I've been there, and I've seen it, and I've seen the tragedy that results.
New laws hit the books in South Dakota concerning social hosting. Social hosting spells out that if you're going to host an underage drinking party, there's criminal liability that will attach to that act. Specifically, if you bring underage persons into your home, hosting them for an underage drinking party, you will be held accountable and punished under South Dakota law.
The consequence of the law is nothing compared to the guilt and the tragedy and the heartbreak that results when somebody loses their life as a result of that.
Safety of your children is so much more important than letting your kids have free reign and have all the freedom that they want.
You don't get to take any night off. Every night is a parent's night. Parents matter. So have the talk.
Wouldn't you rather have it come from you, what you know, than somebody else, or at least share with them? They will appreciate it. It might be hard and difficult at first and odd and uncomfortable, but they'd rather hear it from you.
We just try to teach our kids to be responsible by being more proactive as parents instead of reacting to what they're doing. But if we, build those relationships and let them know how we stand on things and what we believe, to help them make their own choices.
They don't really want to hear what mom and dad have to say, but they will still listen. And they know what you have to say is the truth.
With all the technology in the hands of our kids today, the word about a party or planning a party spreads like wildfire.
What do we know from the past? We know that kids become intoxicated. We know that intoxicated individuals make poor decisions. They get behind the wheel of a car and they die in alcohol-related traffic fatalities.
Why do you wait until there's a tragedy and somebody's gone and you can't get them back to say, oh, I would give everything if I could have them back? Give everything you have now to keep them here now.
I tell them, what if you have to live with somebody? Let's say you get behind the wheel and you kill somebody. You have to live with that. That's a pretty tough thing to do at a young age. You have other things to do in life. Choose not to.
Sometimes parents want to be friends to the kids. The kids don't need friends. They got plenty of friends. What they need is parents to tell them what the right thing to do is.
There's rules, there's consequences, but we are also trying to teach them so that they can become stronger people.
You participate in their soccer, their volleyball, or their basketball, or their football. Participate in what they're doing on the weekend. Participate in what they're doing that night. You don't get a night off as a parent.
Parents have the ability to know what their kids are doing, know where they're at all times through cell phones. Kids have the ability to push one button on a cell phone and get in touch with their parents.
A parent is oftentimes the last person that has a chance to intervene and prevent one of these tragedies. And if you're not successful or you don't make an attempt, some will never forgive themselves. Parents do matter.
We had told Michael that night that it was okay to drink as long as he didn't drive. We thought we were being responsible that night, and the guilt that we feel and will always feel, I don't know how to make that go away.
What you discuss with your child about underage drinking is important. It is the most important message that you can discuss with your child.
You need to know that you've had that talk, and you need to understand that parents matter. Have the talk.
When we look at the most recent research and look at what youth are saying, over 80% will tell us that the most important person, the one who influences them the most, is their parents. Parents do have that power. We're hoping by getting the message out, we empower them to sit down and have that talk. A special thank you to Hinken Schultz for another great campaign and year. And thank you to the media for being here. Without you helping us get this message out, we may not reach all the parents we need to. It is an important message, and a message that we will carry from now through the end of May. Prom and graduation are the most deadly times of the year. When we look back over the deaths of those 66 youth, May is the most deadly of the months. We are coming to that month where we have the transition to summer, to graduation, to the end of the school year, and it's also the month that we need to work the hardest at making sure that the youth in our state stay safe. Thank you very much for coming today, and we know that parents do matter.